Welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with my homegirl, Denise, loving your do this week.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, I think we're going to just jump into our recommendations this week.
All right. So, folks, this week I am recommending a Netflix original starring the very talented Melissa Leo in the movie titled The Most Hated Woman in America. Wow. Melissa Leo plays Madeline Murray O'Hare, who was the president for 23 years of the American Atheist Organization. And Madeline's beef was with the public schools who said that, kids could read prayer in school, and she wasn't having it. And the year before she, became famous for her atheist activism, the Supreme Court had already ruled out prayer in schools. But her beef was with the actual reading of prayer in schools. So she created this organization, and it was well funded. She had a following. She was very famous, but hated at the same time. So much so that her manager decided that he was going to kidnap her and her family and get some of that money that she had stashed away in gold coins. She had like lots of money. So they were kidnapped and held for ransom. And Madeline and her family, though, when police got wind of this disappearance, if you will, it appeared as if everything was okay and they were just out of town on a vacation because the kidnappers made her, write a letter and leave it at her office to keep, the law off of their tail. So as they were held captive, Madeline was just, no, I'm not giving you my money. I'm not giving you the key to the safe deposit box. I'm not telling you where the money is. And I don't care how you brutalize me and my family. I'm not going out like that. Well, Madeline went out like that, and she went out in a horrible way. The kidnappers had her son go to a safe deposit box to bring back the gold coins, but he came back and some of it was missing. So the kidnappers killed them and then dismembered them and then took their bodies and buried them. Totally gruesome. So if you can make it to the end of the movie to see that part, I was not expecting that at all. So if you want a little history about this organization and this very popular hated woman, I recommend you take a look at The Most Hated Woman in America.
So my recommendation this week is starring Samuel L. Jackson and Maggie Q. So Moody, played by Samuel L. Jackson, found Anna, played by Maggie Q, in Da Nang, Vietnam. And she was a little girl at the time. And when he found her, she had just killed 4 guys. And she had killed them because they had kidnapped her. So Moody took her and he raised her up as his own daughter. He taught her his trade, which he was an assassin. So their specialty was finding hard to find people and sometimes killing them. But both of them had another life, right? Anna, who was she loved reading old books. So she owned an antique bookstore, and Moody, he lived in this really nice manor, and they both of the bookstore and the manor was in England. So Anna came over one night to celebrate Moody's birthday, and what ended up happening is that he introduced her to another assignment that they were going to do, right? And so Anna usually takes the lead on that, and she goes through their usual individuals that helps them out find these people. So a couple of days later, she started finding out that the people that they used to find this certain person that they were looking for had been killed. And then an assassination attempt was happened to her, but she ended up getting away. But what made me want to see the movie is that it was kind of star-studded, including with the two main stars, Michael Keaton and Robert Patrick was also in the movie. And it had a lot of good action in it and a nice little twist to the story. So, Denise, tell our audience who's your nailed it.
Okay, folks, my nailed it this week is Kurt Russell in the movie The Breakdown. Man, you talking about a man on a mission. His wife was kidnapped by the side of the road, and he was out to find out who kidnapped her. And he was not going to stop until he turned over every stone to find clues on her whereabouts. I felt so bad for this man in the movie because his wife was right there and then she wasn't.
Right.
And so, his pursuit of her was like really, really thrilling and suspenseful. So Kurt Russell, he is my nailed it.
So my nailed it this week is Leonard Nimoy as Spock in the Star Trek series and movies. So now I'm usually not emotional, right, at movies at all, but one of the few times I have been is in the movie The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, and Spock died, right? And I actually got kind of teary and emotional because of that, right? Because I really love his character in this series. I mean, the guy played Spock for over 5 decades, right? And you grew along with him as he developed that great relationship between him and Kirk, and also how he started accepting, his human half of his heritage, right? So my nailed it is Leonard Nimoy as Spock in the Star Trek series and movies.
All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And we're available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Charles and Denise, and there we will be.
Audience, thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Have You Seen It with my homegirl, Denise, and yours truly. And we are out.
Bye-bye.